Just leave him.
Go.
Just leave him.
Go.
Wait, let me go again.
Oh my god, my heart.
Hey everyone, what's up? This is Jags here, and today, welcome back to another very special episode of Sound Off, where we will be interviewing and reviewing musicians and artists from state to state. Today is going to be a very fun episode because I get to chill out with my friends in Knockout Kid. But we're going to stop here because we have to take a closer look at Knockout Kid. Alright, we are live. Awesome. I'm really happy I finally get to do this. I know I've been talking to Wade for quite some time now because I know you guys have been really busy with your lives and your schedules and might be a little bit more chaotic than others. But thank you guys for being able to join me. The very second
thank you for having
official full band interview, which is really nice.
Yeah, man, thanks for having us. This is awesome.
Absolutely.
Even though we can see all your guys' names here, for people who might be a little hard of seeing, I would like you guys to introduce yourselves, what it is you do in the band.
Hi, I'm John Jacobs. I'm the drummer.
Fucking crushed it.
Grade A.
Part of me was like, I'm one of the founding members of the band, but it's like I don't want to diminish the accomplishments of my other bandmates.
If you founded or started up the band,
The explanation did not do any of that, by the way.
just in case the viewers didn't hear, say that one more time.
My name is John Jacobs. I'm the drummer.
Hey guys, my name's Brian. Birthday's February 13th, 1992. I'm an Aquarius. I'm frisky and risky, but I play bass. Yeah, I play bass.
All right, next we got Brompton Jackson cracking up like crazy right here.
Go to next, skip Brompton for right now. He needs a sec.
So he can breathe. We got Wade here in the middle.
Hi, I'm Wade. I sing in Knockout Kid, and I used to live with Brian. He's a real weird guy.
All right, so I'm Jake. I play guitar. And I used to live with Wade, and he is also a real fucking weird guy.
I'm Brompton, and I play guitar, and that's pretty much it. Fun fact, I've been trying to get Brian to come here and live with me for like 2 years now. So,
whoa, you've never said, like, yo, Brian, move in. Yeah.
Guess you're just not weird enough,
I'll
dude.
do it.
This isn't going to cause any drama between you guys, is it?
Hey, it might.
Yeah,
might just a little
I'm
bit.
the one for Cherry Valley. That's what it is. So
you are the Cherry Valley plus.
You have to move to New York, Brompton.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to do that. I do not want to do that. I'm sorry.
For context, for those who don't know, we're based in Chicago. I moved up about 2 years ago. I moved back, and Brian is the newest member of the band, and he currently lives in Queens, New York.
That's right.
Man,
represent.
I was pretty close to you. I was originally in New Jersey, so I wasn't too far. I was probably about, I don't know, half an hour, an hour, depending on traffic.
How long were you in New Jersey for?
I was in Jersey for about roughly 13 years.
Wow.
So like,
and then I moved out here to Arizona.
How did it feel that the state didn't trust you to pump your own gas?
Don't fuck with the gas pumpers union, man.
Yeah, so
they'll blow up your house.
Jersey I've never been a huge fan of Jersey in general. Obviously, I do miss my home in general. But like the neighborhood and everything else, like the people were shite. Everyone was pretty prejudiced. So I was just like, well, these people kind of suck. I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
You know, there was a good couple of people here and there, but mass majority wasn't the best. But I was actually in Clark originally, so it was about roughly an hour away from Times Square typically, and I think I was about 15 to probably max 25 minutes with traffic away from like Westfield and areas like that as well.
So were you like mid-Jersey?
More of like central, more eastern maybe.
Yeah.
Which is the original Philly cheesesteak place? Because that always cracked me up in Jersey, how it's like they're across the corner from each other.
Well, I've never eaten a Philly cheesesteak before, so I don't know.
What?
Well, I gotta go.
I'm a vegan, man. Like
no kidding. Right on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't back then, but I was a very picky child back then too. So.
Well, yeah. That's
Is there a
all you gotta go
faux
to is
Philly?
gyms.
if there is, then why haven't I heard about it?
A faux Philly.
We're
Philly.
closer to that now, like with the Beyond Meat and all the
Yeah,
really
I
great-
really
the stuff's
feel like it
amazing.
should be possible now. I feel like it should definitely be a thing now.
Yeah.
That shit's
Oh, it
good
definitely
too,
should.
man.
Yeah.
I mean,
there is a
all
spot
I
in
eat.
Philly that has like a vegan Philly cheesesteak.
Oh, no
I've
kidding.
had it before, which is actually pretty bomb. Not gonna lie. But
Really?
honestly, my opinion, best spot in Philly for Philly cheesesteak is Jim's on South Street.
Yo, Jim's.
Jim's.
Shout out to Jim's.
Yeah,
Shout out
sponsor us,
to Jim's.
please.
Jim, sponsor Knockout Kid, please. I don't know why you would be watching my videos, but hey, just in case.
Right.
Thanks,
You
Jim.
never know. Better safe than sorry. But so we can actually go ahead and get started, as much as I would love to continue talking about Beyond Meat products, also not sponsored, sponsor me. Let's get started in talking a little bit more about Knockout Kid. So I am so excited that I finally get to do this. I know I only got to see you guys perform once, like I mentioned before we started recording. That was with Casting Call, who's now formerly known as Firestarter, I believe.
Yeah, that was Matt LaPerch's new project, like their
Yes.
vocalist when he split off.
Yeah, I knew they split off. They did some other stuff. I listened to Firestarter for quite a little bit, but this show and episode isn't about them. It might be one day, but not now. So I think the very first person I actually ever got in contact with you guys was Wade. I don't remember exactly what happened during the show. I remember talking to you guys, and then I don't know why I didn't buy any merch. I got to do that still. Many years later.
We have a couple drinks or something.
Now that we aren't playing shows.
Well, you guys were playing here in Arizona. You were at the Nile Theater, actually, right down the street from me.
No, that's. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. This is the show I got horribly sunburned at, Wade. Do you remember that show?
Oh my god, when you were out of
Yeah,
the pool,
that was the first
he
time.
got
We had-
second-degree sunburn. It was
Oh my God.
Oh
unbelievable.
yeah. Well, like I'm just.
I think it was an off day. It was like Arizona off day, and then we had to drive to California or something.
I'm like, I'm gonna get
That
just
sounds
a
right.
little bit of color. Who needs sunscreen? Like I know I need sunscreen.
And here we are at the hospital 12 hours later.
Yeah, they gave. Oh my goodness, they prescribed me
The
stuff for that.
painkillers.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Arizona
look it
heat
happen.
in the summer that's no joke.
Just a couple of days ago, it just reached 118 again. So, yeah, it gets brutal out here.
Oh, shit.
A little balmy.
Yeah, it's no big deal.
Don't wear a shirt in the pool for 8 hours. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Don't do that out here. No, you will regret it, as you already know. But the very first album that I was introduced to was It Comes With a Job Description that you guys released back in 2013. The very first song I've ever heard from that album, ironically, is the outro song of yours that I use. For once again, is How the Midwest Was Won. That was the very first Knockout Kid song I've ever listened to. I immediately listened to that, and I was just like, where can I find the rest of this? Where can I save this? Why don't people know about this? I think.
A good question.
Yeah. What is the question?
Why are we all so
Why-
introverted and didn't promote our music enough?
Yeah, we made a few poor business decisions.
Yeah, right. Oh,
We were young, we were learning a lot. And
Hey, I
we
get it,
gave up
man.
a few, yeah.
I mean, that was a long time ago already.
Of our pants. Yeah, it was.
What do you mean? We still fly.
I was
by
gonna
the
say we've been flying. Yeah. Yes.
You know, it was funny because the first time I saw you guys live, and I was just like, I need to continue listening to this. I remember immediately going back, since I lived with my parents still at the time, I remember going back into my house. My brother's still with me. He actually went to that show with me at the time, too, to support all you guys. And we're like, oh, well, we don't know any of these bands. Let's go.
Dude, that's so sick, though, to hear.
Yeah.
And
That's-
it was the
that's
very
badass,
first
'cause,
time
like,
seeing you
nobody does
guys. And
that.
no one does. And I used to just, my brother and I used to do that constantly. And we're just like, oh, there's a bunch of local bands just touring from like different states. And I'm like, well, we're originally from the East Coast, so this music has to be good, right? So we go ahead, we go in there, and we're listening to everything. I remember buying a Casting Call CD too, but I think I only had enough for like one like album or anything like that. And I remember looking at my brother and I'm like, hey, can you buy me like Knockout Kid too, and he's like, I got no money, man. I'm like, I can't just like, hey, can I have my money back? I had to go online and download all your music instead.
I was gonna say, you could have just be like, hey, can I rob you guys of a CD? Be like, here's 5. We don't care.
I literally just went on YouTube and just like put it on loop. Yeah, it's
awesome. Well,
whatever I could at the time to rep you guys a little bit more. But
yeah, so like even people that like rip our music offline, like I think our new album was leaked like 1 or 2 days before, and like absolutely, please, like I just want.
And that was so.
This is what's crazy to me, like
that people care enough.
How did this happen? I don't even know how it happened.
Like the fact that people will take the time to be like, I need this album now.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No,
especially after the lull that we had from 4 years.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be the one to bring it up.
No. There's 3 years.
That people still care and that are just they're plugged into us enough on social media or wherever we post stuff, and they're just they're trying to get it early, which was cool to see.
Yeah. No, very humbling.
So incredibly humbling, honestly.
Yeah, I really don't hear about people in general leaking local artists' music in general, maybe like larger artists, but the fact that people are so hungry for your new music, they're like, I don't even care if this is illegal, screw you guys, I'm listening to this now. And the fact that you guys love that makes it 10 times better, because now everyone's just like, these guys are like a million times cooler now. Like they don't care. They're here for the music.
Well, and also like just to be totally realistic about like the profit margins, like you get 0.0004 cents per stream.
That just went up now too, so now you guys get a penny.
Oh, well,
actually, that's
stop
crazy.
fucking illegally downloading.
Wait, hold on a second. So you're saying we get 1 penny per stream now?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
I was just reading an article. I actually just talked about this with a step ahead as well, is that Spotify, I believe the owner went ahead and actually just increased the streaming revenue up to that 1 cent instead of the 0.0004, like John mentioned here.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't sound like much, but in the long run, realistically, if someone plays your album like once per song, you're getting a penny.
Right.
That's a lot more revenue coming back towards you guys.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I think
if you have 10 songs on the album,
yes,
it adds up over time.
It does.
But yeah, I'm really glad that people are listening. I don't care how you got it. We're just gonna keep
completely
doing it.
agreed.
That's not how we make.
At this point, it was like we just knew there were some people out there that still wanted it, and we were, we're like, please, let's just get it to them. We owe them.
Yeah. Because I think we had a post about finishing tracking in 2017.
3 years ago, nearly to this. Yeah, to the day.
Finished tracking for Hero Insomniac.
Can't wait this year later. Yeah, can't wait to share it
later.
We were like the kings of the coming soon.
Another thing I did actually want to bring up real quick. So since the very beginning, since I started listening to you guys, going from It Comes With a Job Description album, after that Manic, and then now our current album here for Hero Insomniac, I was actually, just before we got started, I always take in at least like an hour plus to listen through every single album, every single song. I did that with A Step Ahead. Obviously, I did that with you guys too, just so I can get familiarized with the music again. Some of the songs I haven't listened to in years either, and it's really nice actually going back to that. So it's just like I'm making a whole brand new playlist, by the way, for everyone I interview. So like you guys, A Step Ahead, other bands down the road, like you guys are all getting your own little Spotify playlist I'll eventually be releasing in the future.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
No, and I love it's just great to hear somebody actually listen through the whole thing, and not just be like, whoa, there was some screaming I heard,
That's usually the first thing that comes to my head. It's just like, whoa, a pop punk band that screams? I've never heard this before. And you're like, whoa. But have you heard it this good before? There's a difference. It was funny because I think the first... I remember listening today, it was... Which song was it? I think it was the Callback EP I went back on for Spotify. And, it was Wake Me Up When We're Underwater. I remember listening to that, and it was like a little bit like softer. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And then like I listened to the transition from that album to what you guys have now, and I'm like, God damn. And I'm like, yes, more, please.
Awesome. That's so good to hear.
It's really interesting because I like bringing up other bands as references that I have interviewed or chilled with at a point in time when I had the free time before we got hit with the worldwide fun time. So, you know, when I was talking to A Step Ahead, I was talking to them a little bit more about you guys as well. And a lot of it was, you know, I did have to cut out because that ended up being like a 2-hour video in general that I had to cut down to 32 minutes. So there's a lot of content you don't see. But I was talking to them a little bit more about the fact that they couldn't quite remember who you guys were, but they remembered your name. But at the same time, when I told them, and I'm like, I just finished talking to Wade, he remembers you guys very well since you guys played a show together.
Now.
And then I was just like, yeah, I'm calling somebody out. But that's okay. I have a shite memory too. It's okay.
It just happens.
It's been
that's what like
I said, it could have been
years.
that. Yeah, it could have been such a long time ago. I mean, they've done so much. They've been a band for 10 years, so they've done a lot. You guys done a lot.
Yeah.
We're the last
thousands
band
of
to take
bands.
offense. Yeah, we're not going to take offense.
It's not
for 1
personal.
second.
So going in between all the different albums of yours, everything stays fairly consistent, which is not a bad thing for me. Particular for your guys' sound that you go for is something that I like to see. Even when you change things up a little bit, try to go for a different sound altogether, it still sounds like you. A lot of bands have a difficult time doing that. Well, what's a good example for that? It was like when Newfound Glory tried doing their Sirius album. Everything was like a million times slower. It didn't sound like the old school stuff. People got so pissed off about it. But to me, I mean, I still love the album.
Are you talking
That's
about
Coming Home, yeah.
That's like one of their favorite albums.
Yeah,
It's a good album.
Wait,
That is
you
a
like
good
that
album.
Yeah.
There's some bangers on it. It's definitely not their.
Yes,
No,
there
it's
is.
not my
No,
favorite.
it's not
Is
the
that the
best,
record with
but
Love
it's
and
good.
Pain? Is that song on there? Love and Pain?
Yes, yeah.
It's a jam.
It is a good
But yeah.
one. But I mean, a lot of people didn't really like it. I guess I was the black sheep, but a lot of people were just like, this is too slow. This is too serious. Jordan, what are you doing? This is terrible. And I was just like, well, they're going for a different try to sound. They're exploring a little bit more. That's what bands are supposed to do. It's not always gonna work, but you know, their newer album now, everyone's just like, why didn't you do this before? And I was like,
They've done it. The thing with them is they've been around for so long,
Yeah,
and they have such a cult following that they're allowed to kind of go outside the box.
Right.
It's kind of welcome.
you
at
guys
this
allowed to
point,
go
like,
outside the box? I mean, you have.
They kind of do that now too. It's just like every other album now. It's just like an experimental album for them.
Yeah.
And like I get down with it.
Yeah, because also they're just
so
not going to
good.
be in the same headspace that they were when they made the product that we enjoyed so much.
Yeah.
I mean,
is true.
realistically, they're also all like in their 40s now. So like,
Right.
Yeah.
So they can make
pushing 50 at this point.
Like, how crazy do you want really fun to go with?
Yeah, that's crazy.
But
they can make records for themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool because you guys always had that more of that metal and punk influence in all of your mass majority of your songs. And that's something I've always appreciated. But not only the fact, because a lot of bands that I've listened to with that do something similar towards your style, they tend to lack a little bit more in creativity as far as like guitar patterns, vocal patterns. You realize everything starts kind of blending in together a little bit. And there's a list of bands I could go through, but I'm not here to throw people under the bus. Not yet. And you know, and being able to listen through all of your albums, everything has very similar tones, which I appreciate because that lets me know I'm listening to you guys. You know Wade's voice anywhere, in my opinion. I think it's very distinct. It fits perfect for the music you guys play. There's definitely true growth from the first time I listened to you guys up to now, which I would imagine and hope there would be. I mean, there's definitely been true improvement, which I always want to see in bands, because I mean, that inspires people. Be like, oh man, like they're still together, they're still playing shows, they're still touring, and they're just getting better and better and better.
And they're not losing it.
Yeah.
Right.
The worst thing that's coming to you guys is that, well, me too included, we're just getting older. That's it. Yeah. But with age comes more wisdom. With more wisdom comes more amazing music. Yeah, it's just really nice to know you guys stayed very consistent with your music overall. Even if it was from your older album up to what we have now, you can still hear the fact that you still know it's Knockout Kid. You still know, based upon the tones, the vocals, the way everything is organized, and especially the way everything has been. I mean, production value obviously went up too, which I would also imagine.
As we went further, album after album, we learned how to write parts that were cool, but then like parts that fit cohesively that built up to something. I don't know, on job description, some of the songs, okay, we ended with the exact same chorus that played 3 other times, and they didn't build up. What I thought was cool about Hero was that we were able to write songs with metal sounding guitars and riffs and whatnot that weren't self-serving. Like it had a purpose, which is to drive the song forward. Yeah, and not just shred or try to.
Yeah, and Jake was also, since he won't talk himself up about it, he's also very cognizant of Wade's vocal range. So he also is very aware.
Of course, no, well that's true. I mean,
there was one track that didn't make the album.
Well, right. That was my bad too. I'm like, hey, wait, let's record this three full steps up.
No, but I appreciate the challenge. Each time I go into the studio, it doesn't get repetitive to me. I love that you say that we've stayed consistent with our sound, and it's us. As soon as you hear it, be it from the guitars, be it from the drums, the tones, or just the voice. But it's cool to hear an outside perspective of that rather than just
a lot of people don't get the outside perspective.
Right.
Well, I'll say this, John, you have some really distinctive drum, like some of the fills you do, and just like whenever I hear a Knockout Kid song, and the drums to me, and every show, it's always who was the drummer? I'm like, I know, John, go fucking talk to him.
I've only ever seen you mess up one time.
Oh, well, I forgot going gone. After the intro, I stopped the song on the stage. I stopped the song and I was like, let me take this again.
Yeah.
We were like on tour. You remember? Then you played with the piñata on your head.
I did play the piano.
That's awesome. Did you really?
Yeah.
Well, I think it was kind of a unique cycle too in recording it, because I don't think anybody had heard what I was going to play on the album until I was actually on the throne, like playing the songs in the studio.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of like a fun process all the way through.
Yeah.
Because for so long we had been like an email band, because we had been kind of up in the air with our members and things like that. So the whole creative process was kind of turned upside down. And it was like, we need to get in the studio and record. And then finally we're in the studio recording, and all of us can kind of surprise each other with, I've got these ideas for this song. And that's when it really comes together, because we have we have this rough idea going into the studio. And then once we're in the studio, that's when we're like the 3-part, 4-part, 5-part harmonies. We're really gonna be creative now. Yeah. Now that we're seeing everything coming together, and this will be really fun here. And
so here's the vision. Yeah. Absolutely. Or we're at each other's throats.
Yes.
Either way.
It's all for the final product. We have the best artistic vision in mind.
That is the truth. Yeah. We always concede to whatever is the best idea. I don't think Yeah. It's always the pursuit of the song.
Yeah. There's no genuine pride when it comes to the final product, where this just actually works better.
Whose ownership
works better. Yeah. Right. It doesn't even matter.
I mean, all you guys obviously have an equal share in everything. You all have your parts to play. You all contribute towards it. And then it's just like, it's funny because I've also seen a lot of bands also be like, yeah, they wrote the song, but like, I'm the band. And you're like,
okay.
I hate that.
I don't think that's true.
Okay, that's
and it's like, all right, Diva, calm yourself. It's not your band, and the fact that now your band members heard that, they're probably not going to be too thrilled about meeting up with you next time.
Right.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, don't do that. Any bands out there, please don't. And if you do, then it's a good way to leave the band if you want to quit. There's something I want to mention. And something I've actually always been meaning to ask you guys, how did Knockout Kid come to be?
Jake and I had a metal band called Behold the Throne.
Yeah,
way back in the day. I think it was 13 years ago, 14 years ago. We've been playing music a long time together.
Yes.
And we had a few other friends, and then finally we decided to get together and do this pop punk project.
And to be fair, John, you only played in that band to humor me, really, because I wanted to play metal, and you were like,
friends with the band. I was like,
that I was going to progress, maybe, perhaps beyond it. You were like, please, dude, can we just like sit down and write something like with singing? You know,
we had some really great music though. I'm not gonna lie, but
we had fun
to toot my own horn.
But
and then we got together and we recorded this demo, and we went to Sam Ash to find members. We burned demo CDs to bring to a music store to find a bassist, to find a vocalist.
Right. Yeah. We took our horse and buggy there. Yep.
That's actually genius.
How old were both of you guys at this time?
18, 17, 18.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Dude, to be a 17-year-old walking into a music store with like your probably shitty demos.
Shit fucking demos, dude.
Awful.
Awful. Like, dude, that takes like mad. That's huge balls.
And that's I was playing guitar at the time.
It
too.
only
I wasn't even on drums. Like we were looking for a drummer.
Carl there. Well, Carl was the only one who was ever going to take that bait.
Yeah, because Carl was working at the store.
Yeah. God forbid it had been any sane person.
Yeah, he gave us a call like 3 hours later. He's like, "Where are you practicing?" Like,
yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and then we had a hard time finding a drummer for a while because
Isn't that always the case?
Guitar.
I don't know why it's always so difficult to find a good drummer. Always.
Well, I mean,
but John, you're such a good drummer. Like you have to play drums.
I know, but the guitar's the
rather
cool
be
ones.
playing guitar.
Yeah, the cool.
You played guitar on Dear God. Like John does the acoustic interlude.
You guys give me a guitar track every so often.
Well, and like all the acoustic songs are usually driven by you because. I wish you could have played guitar, but you fucking are too good at drums, man. What are we supposed to do?
So it all started just from an old band you were in, and then you started collaborating a little bit more, and then lo and behold, like, here we are?
Yeah, 2020.
More or less.
Right.
Wow.
Right. No,
Plain, short, sweet, and simple.
Good.
No, I mean, we had a different vocalist at the time, and we parted ways, as such things, they happen.
Yeah.
And then we got a message from Wade, who was in Texas with a band called The Face for Radio with Mr. Brian Nunes.
Yeah, we were in like a really.
Were you guys
spot.
in New York when Wade contacted us? But Wade was from Texas.
Yeah.
If we want to get into a full circle story of how we're who we are now,
I think you should do it.
So I was Brian actually moved down from Queens to drum in my old band, A Face for Radio, and then all the members quit on us. We were in the studio recording some songs, and then we ended up bailing, going back to up to Queens, New York. I moved in with Brian and his family, and we got new members from there. And then maybe like half a year later, we were kind of fizzling out. All the members were kind of not into it anymore. Didn't want to play shows. Didn't want to tour.
Wait. Do you remember the last show?
Was that
The last show was with.
Look at Brian's shit grin right now. He's like so excited.
He's got a story.
He's got something on his mind.
Last show.
Because it's also going to bring this. It's going to bring this into like a 360 thing. So the last show we played was also with a step ahead. I'm pretty sure.
No shit.
Right?
Wow.
No way.
Yeah, so they might remember A Face for Radio
circle.
as well as Knockout Kid, or better than Knockout Kid.
Sorry to cut you off. I just had to bring that around too.
All good.
Yeah, absolutely.
I forgot where I was though in the story. Oh,
so you were just talking about
A Face
leaving.
for Radio was kind of fizzling out. Members were going separate ways and stuff like that. And
so we poached you. We started, right?
Well, essentially, Brian randomly already listened to Knockout Kid with their old vocalist. It was, I think, Your Name All Over It had already come out, and he was just listening to it on a drive. We were going to the beach with his family, and he was listening in his headphones. He's like, "Hey, check this new band out. This is Knockout Kid." I was like, "Okay, who's this?" He's like, "Oh, they're kind of like Hit the Lights, but they're way more soulful and pop punk." I was like, "Okay, let's check it out." So I think it was Not 5-0, or
it was that or like Hoop Dreams.
You sent Not 5. Wade, you sent Not 5.
The story behind Not 5-0.
But,
was
that's
Knockout Kid really at a point in time related, or did you label that as, or was it labeled as Hit the Lights? Because I don't think that's true.
They were. We really liked their music. I don't know if
we hadn't like come into our own style.
Yeah.
Before, like we hadn't figured out what we wanted to do when we were doing Your Name All Over It.
Okay.
It was like our old singer definitely had a different style. Super amazing dude, and like on his own. And we were anyway. It was a blend that was cool.
I actually think him and Wade, they have similar like.
No, actually, I agree. I would completely agree.
Not according to him.
I think, well.
I think he compared me to Nickelback one time on a
serious?
internet
well,
comment.
You have the fucking
He ain't wrong though.
Shots
He ain't
fired.
wrong.
Wait. I want to hear the Eddie Vedder. Give me the Vedder. Give me some Vedder.
Well, the dogs do find her. Got time to wait for tomorrow.
That's why we pay him the big bucks.
Nah, but like, wait, I remember you sent me that Not 5-0 demo, and you were doing some gruff stuff with your voice, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, that was new to us. We hadn't even visualized our music in that way.
Right, and it sort of made sense as to like how we could really like bring all the different components of it together. And then it took, Wade like 7 years to ever do it really good,
It did take me. I didn't.
I'm fucking with you, man. I loved it.
Because it wasn't until Manic, really, because he was still singing our old stuff.
Okay, to be fair to Wade, when he joined, we were like, hey, we have a bunch of songs for job description. They're all recorded. You have 7 to 9 days to track all 12 songs vocally. We met you 2 weeks ago. So join us in the studio. He did a great job. And then Manic, though, we finally, even with all the whatever, writing.
We've never had a reasonable timeline for recording. I think like our first album ever, or Your Name All Over It, we recorded it in 2 days. Like the entire thing was 2 days. And then we maybe had like 3 or 4 days
for a job description perhaps, and then Manic we did in 1 week straight.
And then we had a single.
4 years.
We had a single that like neither of us were there at the same time.
Yeah,
so
that's
like
right.
I'm just there recording a mix with
that was Safety Net though, where you did the
Yeah.
sick drum stuff at the end. Man, I remember being like, I should never be here because like if anything,
I still think we should like re-record Safety Net. That'd be so sick.
Yeah.
So before I move any further on talking about your guys' brand new album here, which is going obviously the whole purpose of this meetup here, time for a step ahead's question from them to me to you. Who is your favorite band member?
Oh shit.
Oh, I heard them say that
Of
too.
a step ahead or not?
No, of your own band.
all right.
Of our own band.
He wanted to cause some drama, I think, but
No, I remember from the episode.
It's me. I'm gonna save everybody some time. It's the drummer, dude.
everyone just says the drummer like he's my favorite.
Let's be real. Like, think about all the bands you know, and think about how little drama you have with the drummer of that band. Like
or do we all
across the
pick
board.
ourselves?
Like,
Do we just each pick ourselves?
John
Yeah,
is preaching right now. Like, I totally get that.
deadass. Like, think about it.
Yeah,
Like, every
dude, I
single
got you.
band, you never had a problem with the drummer. You're like, you never came back to the band. You're like, man,
That's
that
true.
drummer's a dick.
No.
Yeah.
If anything, we come back to you saying like, "Hey, we've been dicks. I've been a dick. Please come back."
we all have those moments. Yeah.
No, but for on record, John's the worst.
Yes.
Yeah, for real. That just sucks.
I recall a little drama between me and John back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay,
I feel like
That
Really?
was actually when Wade came to Illinois for the first time. He lived at my dad's with me for like a month and a half. How long was it? It was crazy.
We've known each other through a lot of times where none of us had our shit together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
I
think
every level.
we're kind of like past that point of drama because we've had like so much that it's just like I just care about you as a person. It's
No,
just,
of course.
we're never gonna go back on that.
So
you know?
sweet.
I think we're also
Right.
pretty good at
That's love,
dancing
bro.
around the question because we haven't actually answered it yet. And I think
I'm
No,
the
you guys
favorite.
are
I
kind of
already
just beating
answered
around the
it.
bush. Yeah.
I answered it on behalf of everybody. It's John.
Right.
That's
true.
fair enough. All
I'll
right.
bet
Although
John.
I'll say on stage, maybe besides John, I think Wade's my favorite because I can look over at him. He's throwing down.
True.
It just, I mean, it's
True.
not that nobody else is, but that I can always look over at Wade because I know we might hit each other, right?
Fair enough.
But when you're going in it, sometimes I just feel like I don't know, same. I don't know.
We
Almost
need
an
that.
introverted sense, but you're just doing it, man. You just fucking don't give a shit though in that moment.
No,
And
that's the moment where I'm
really
no longer introverted. That's
yeah.
the only moment, really.
I can see it
on
happen.
stage.
Yeah, right. You like look up, what's up? Whatever, dude. It's amazing. I love it. Yep.
Well, I think that disconnect is important too, because you have that like on stage, you're just the baddest motherfucker that ever played music, and then the second you get off the stage,
100%.
like you're no more important
gassing
than
me up
anybody
over here.
that's in the crowd.
Yep.
You know,
Right.
That's some real shit.
I'm
Yeah.
just an audience member at that point.
That's
Like
some
you
real
just
shit.
gotta have that persona. And that's important, and I like.
I wish I felt that way on stage. Usually on stage, I'm like, I am inadequate.
Nobody look at me.
Right,
No,
yeah.
it's hard. It's hard for me sometimes on stage to make eye contact with the crowd because usually I'm either.
I just black
It
out.
is very difficult.
Oh, I never make eye contact with anybody. I'm like closing my eyes or just not even looking. Like I look through people, just do that.
Look
like,
at the back
straight
of the
look
room.
through them.
You're kind of just like in your own zone pretty much when you're on stage.
Right. So for the record,
Absolutely.
we as a band, we don't connect with anyone on stage, even if you think we do.
Nope. It's just a husk.
No,
Just
I
a
think the
husk of
collective
it.
effect, though, is that we.
I need you to take down that Mitch Carroll basket.
He disappears into the ether.
Oh my god.
Dude, Tiger King feels like so long ago, though. That, like, Jesus.
I appreciate you guys so much more. Now, that is still the greatest thing I've never seen that before. That's amazing.
Dude, thanks for having us. Seriously.
thank you.
Sorry,
When
Like I
have
said,
such
this is
children.
more my show is more of like a has a lot to do with comedy. It is more of chill sessions. I do play video games with other people like every now and then too. But majority of the stuff I do by myself, and usually either that or I do have my wife helping me out with a lot of different video shoots and everything for some new series we have coming, hopefully pretty soon for a paranormal comedy show coming out soon, which I'm pretty excited about. But
Spooky.
That sounds cool as fuck.
I'm
that
pretty
sounds
excited.
pretty
Like
tight.
there's a lot of stuff I really want to do. Like I said, I professionalize in video and video editing for a living, so YouTube is grade A for me to be. It's weird to know, however, that YouTube is actually not as easy as I thought it was going to be. I always knew it was going to be difficult, but in a sense where I've always been used to being my own boss, because like I said, I do own my own LLC and everything, and I've been doing that since early 2017. But being on YouTube and being depended on to make quote unquote quality content, depending on how you label quality and content, it's surprisingly very demanding. Even though I've only been here for about roughly 8 months now, I mean, we're looking at where we at now, 318 subscribers now, which not terrible.
Yeah,
but
That's a flex. That's a flex. Flex that right now.
yeah, it's not bad. I'm happy with it. Everyone's just like, oh, you should be a lot more, and I'm like, I'll get there when I get there.
Well, and
I'm
it's
like,
a lot of like the industry doesn't really want to talk about it, but faking numbers.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Faking numbers is huge.
Like,
legit,
yeah.
318 legitimate followers.
Sincere
Like,
followers.
Completely organic.
That's a
I have
big deal.
literally
Right.
the only thing I have spent on here, which I do try to advertise a little bit for, not sponsored by, but affiliated by TubeBuddy. They're the ones who teach me a little bit more about like search engine optimization, proper tagging, how to get my name out there. Kind of helps me with branding and marketing. So I have my paid subscription for that, but that's only $4 a month. But I mean, it's taught me so much, but that's the only thing I have ever spent money on, besides obviously paying for video games that I want. But other than that, I haven't paid for any marketing. I haven't paid for any promotions. I haven't done anything on Facebook. Everything is 100% done only by me online.
Yeah,
And
the creators
it's
don't
hard.
get enough credit for the nuance that goes into that you have to edit the video, you're filming it. You
Wear a lot of hats for sure.
And the only reason why I bring that up is because I feel like with a band like you guys, you kind of go through the same thing. You have to do everything yourselves. You're spending, whether it is you're spending a ton of money, or if everything's word by mouth, but obviously now everything's done online. You go on all social media platforms. You get your new music out there, new music videos out there. You got merch. You do the same thing everywhere. You can find any Facebook page, any page you can find on Twitter, or if you use Reddit or Tumblr, whatever you decide to use. It's a lot of work. Being in a band is very difficult. It is a legitimate business. It is, I mean, I've been through it, but like I've never been on tour and stuff. You know, being in a band and being a YouTuber to me is very, very similar. They're both extremely demanding, mentally demanding by all means. It's so beyond tiring because everyone's depending on you to be as creative as possible. They're expecting new content to be out all the time. But for us as individuals, obviously we're only one person. We're just like, oh my God, I'm just so tired. And people are like, no, you're not tired. Keep doing work. Sleeps for the week.
Entertain us.
Suck it up and do it. And we're just like, okay, that's
like
what makes the
realest
money.
Shit, man.
Yeah.
That is the realest.
Because there's always that assumption like, oh, tour is like super glamorous, and it's like, yeah, I just slept.
Tour
in
is
Walmart
fun. It's
parking
just
lot.
it's
you know, like
Wow.
you
It's
have
harsh.
to show up for the show. You have to play tight, and it's you do have a job to do.
And then the fact that you guys go from
think.
state to state too, like that's exhausting beyond belief.
Yeah, like the
majority of
17-hour
times-
drive.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
majority of the time spent on tour is behind the wheel in a van,
Yeah.
Yep.
sleeping.
You got a song about that?
Coming up soon.
And Dana Remember did it. Why didn't you?
Okay, can I
It's
have
like
the
really
hot
funny.
take? It was not a good song.
Which
Can I have the hot take?
Which one? I remember.
I remember
Yeah.
jumping off of cliff tops. Okay, niche.
That's the exact song I was thinking of. Yeah.
People who've never done it think like, oh, you're on vacation with you
Yeah.
know, your 4 or 5 friends for like
No.
2 or 3
No,
weeks.
you are
No.
testing
And
your
it is-
relationships with those
It
people.
is not. Yeah, you
Yeah.
are definitely testing those friendships. I'll tell you.
That's
Well,
basically a marriage
Yeah.
at that
Yeah.
point.
We had a year.
Mhm.
I think looking at the show like tracker, I think we had like 270 plus shows in 1 year.
Wow.
And yeah, it does wear on you being away from home.
Hold on, boys.
like-
Grabbing the phone charger. Be right
like,
back.
yeah, like
good.
you can't really form meaningful relationships outside of that, and you can't have a stable job. Like you make a lot of sacrifices just to go out to play music for people because that's what you want to do,
Yeah.
and it's not necessarily profitable at all times either.
It's absolutely crazy to know that there are a lot of people out there, and which I'm 100% for by all means, is people who are like, I'm starting up this band. The idea and the goal is to go on tour, obviously attempt to make money because you can never guarantee. I mean, starting like we mentioned before, like starting a band is a business. The only reason to start a business is because you want to take a risk on something you are passionate about, something you love doing. Even if you're just doing it by yourself, it's the same story. But there's so many people out there, like you were saying before as well, is that people are like, well, I'm going to go on tour, and they have the mindset where they're like, this is going to be the easiest thing ever. And I was like, I've never done it, but I know you're wrong.
It's not a party. It's not a party. You have a real job to do. There is a time and a place for partying, of course.
Yeah. And I was like, where are you going to sleep? How
Yeah.
much money do you have for food? How much of your merchandise have you been able to sell? And based upon that, based upon those sales, how much of the X percentage of income are you getting back that you're able to use for the rest of the tour? People don't think about the long term. They just think about, I'm on tour, I'm having fun. Yeah, great, you're having fun, but like you're out there because you're trying to make money. If you're not making money, which I mean a lot of bands just really don't because the industry is just so unbelievably corrupt.
One tour we left where I made like $200, and I think that was the greatest net gain I've
Oh,
ever had on a tour.
The
Like
van
touring for like 10
celebration
years.
about that? Yep.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's an
Do you
investment.
remember we played that one show and we all took money home in like Michigan, and we were so stoked.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was
Like,
insane.
boys,
That's rare.
That was,
career?
I was
Do we
so
make it?
happy.
Yeah, it's an investment. I don't think I've ever actually sincerely made money doing this. I think
And
it's
No.
always been an investment just because
Right.
we make music because we like hearing music.
Right. And I
At the
think,
end
but
of
in
the
some
day.
ways, I just think the small but dedicated amount of people that still give a shit ended up being all we really actually wanted.
For Wade's voice, for me, he manages to obviously bring more of the metal scene with him, but usually a lot of vocalists don't know how to differentiate or even combine or alternate, I should say, between clean vocals and screaming or a little bit more harsher vocals in general.
I wanted to talk Wade up. When Wade screams in the studio and then doubles a scream, even you look at the waveform.
The wavelengths are the same.
Yeah,
you know how hard that is?
Wade is a one-take Drake.
Even like engineers work with
that must be heaven for you guys tracking.
It's insane because it's like he lays it down, and then the engineer's like, okay, can you double that? And then he's like, okay, and then he does it, and then that's it.
When your double literally has been done legitimately, but you think it's a copy and paste.
No, yeah, the engineer's like, wait, sorry, I didn't. That was the old take. Do it again. It's like, oh no, that was the new one. You heard it.
What I'm getting at is just the fact that I understand how difficult it is, but I also appreciate the fact that you don't actually just scream. You mix a little of that harshness in with your clean vocals, which I don't understand how you do. I don't get it.
Years and years. I wasn't able to do that.
It is incredible how you can do that.
Knockout Kid.
No,
around Manic when I was really embracing it.
Yeah, no, I remember it was like House on Hell. I always think of as being like, are we doing it clean or are we doing it like your new gruff thing? I mean, it all worked out for the best.
He's like both at the same time, and you're like,
what I love is like when we're playing shows and like Wade will just kind of throw some scruff on, you know, just some random stuff, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
yeah, I like to keep it spicy.
Yeah, it's always nice to spice things up.
Especially now, man. I don't know when the next live show. We don't even get to play a CD release show for this new EP.
This is our first time getting together since COVID broke out.
Oh wow! Glad I can get you guys back together.
We haven't all been in the same place virtually at all.
Oh my god, you guys are killing
me.
Let
me in. Let me in.
This is the best Zoom call.
I hate you guys so much.
I got 3. Oh my god. Why is everyone fucking doing this?
I mean, I'm actually, you know what? I appreciate this actually a lot more because this is what entertainment is. This is comedy gold right here. You can't get this anywhere else.
Can we do a thing where like we all turn around and smile into the camera at the same time?
It should go in order. So for me, it's Wade, then Brian, Jacob, John, and then Brompton. So that's the order I have here. All right, we're going to start in 3, 2, 1.
Hi, I'm Wade. I sing. What do you do?
Hey, I'm Ryan. I play bass.
I'm Jake and I play guitar.
Is that me? Tell me.
John.
Just leave him.
Just
leave him.
Go.
Wait. Let me go again.
Oh my god, my heart.
Please keep it.
Hi, I didn't see you there. I'm the band.
Oh, there you go. Should this be the end? We just end it with our backs turned?
Oh. Hello.
I'm actually crying. Holy crap. Oh, this is the best interview ever.
And this is Justin. Thanks for interviewing us.
Before we do conclude here, I just want to wrap up here saying that once again, obviously, thank you guys for making time to do this. It's been really, really cool being able to talk to you. This is my first time actually talking to the band as a whole. So, you know, it's really nice actually being able to finally meet everybody, including new members as well.
Yeah. Thank you for having us.
Obviously, I mean, all of your stuff is already linked in my bio to begin with for the description, but obviously I'll have everything linked below for the music video as well for everyone to watch. I do highly encourage everyone to go ahead, follow them in any social media platform that you can find. If you want to find their brand new album, Hero Insomniac, that will be in the description below as well. Once again, it has been an honor to talk with you guys today. Thank you so much for joining me here.
Thank you so much.
And yeah, hit me back up if you guys ever want to do anything else, and I'll be more than happy to. And if anything for live streaming, same deal. But
tight.
I will talk to you guys another time.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Later.